Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hello everyone, it's me, Akip here. Back to another video, and it's that time of the month, football fans. With the World Cup in Qatar happening this year, 2022, there are still qualifiers happening around the world to remaining nations that have yet to qualify, and the nations that I'll cover for this video are the nations in the CONCACAF region. The nations who are fighting for a place in the World Cup are the USA, Mexico, Canada, Costa Rica, Panama, Jamaica, El Salvador, and Honduras. For my video, I'll give my predictions on Matchday 9 of the World Cup CONCACAF Qualifiers that are going to be played this month of January. And if you're wondering, yes, I'll give my other predictions for match days 10 and 11 once Matchday 9 has already been played. So expect more follow-up videos from this video on my next matchday prediction for the CONCACAF Qualifiers. And with that brief intro, let's head to the nations who will be playing and earn the points to qualify to Qatar during Matchday 9 fixture. Alrighty, first up on this Matchday 9 fixture is the game USA vs El Salvador. The USA will be playing at home in chilly cold Columbus, Ohio. It's already January, so it's to be expected. Yet, despite being the 4th largest country by landmass, the US Federation decides it's a good idea to play in cold places of the country and not somewhere else like Orlando, Florida. It is a factor which both teams will have to confront and deal with, although it might be harder on the Salvadorian players because most of them play in Central America where it's warmer. With the factor of the weather mentioned, let's go over the US men's national team call-ups for this camp. And as you can see from the screen here, even though this call-up has a lot of MLS players, I think it's still decent enough, even though there are some missing players here, whether it be injuries, out of form, or maybe in John Brooks' case, a little bit of attitude problem apparently. But with all that aside, these set of players should be good enough to perform against El Salvador, unless Greg Berhalter decides to mess up somehow with a few player selections. But we'll see. I'm not gonna nitpick here of what may or may not happen. Just know in this fixture, the USA are second in the qualification table with 15 points, only 1 point shy away of Canada, who are in the number 1 spot. Right now, the USA are where they want to be, in an automatic qualification spot, which is great news, but with the players they have at their disposal, they should be in the number 1 spot. No offense to Canada or any Canadians watching this. The reason why Canada is above the USA is simply because they have a better coach than the US. In my honest opinion, if you were to give Canada's coach, John Herdman, the US men's national team squad, the US would be number 1 on the table by a big margin, and most likely undefeated by now. But yeah, if the US wins this match against El Salvador, they'll be number 1 on the table for now. Speaking of which, in El Salvador's case, they are now in 7th place on the table, doing not so good at the moment. I know that El Salvador had a good Gold Cup run and started a qualification campaign with drawing 0-0 against the USA at home. Could this scoreline happen again? Well, I don't think so, having to play away in the USA now. This should be an easy 3 points to the USA men's national team. I believe the USA will pull it off with whatever lineup Greg Berhalter decides to use in this game. This should be a must-win game for the US, so with my predictions of this match, it will be a 4-0 win to the USA men's national team, with Ricardo Pepi scoring a hat-trick, Christian Pulisic on the score sheets, and Zach Steffen to keep a clean sheet. And from what I heard, if El Salvador loses this match, then they'll be knocked out of qualifiers. So there's that to look after this game to see if it's correct. Until that happens, let's go to the next game from this Matchday 9 fixture. Alrighty, here we are with the next fixture here, Honduras vs Canada. This match will be played in Honduras home stadium, Olympico Metropolitano. Speaking of Honduras, they hired a new coach in Hernan Gomez since the last qualifying window. The same coach who took Panama to their first ever World Cup in the country's history back in 2017 to go to World Cup 2018. This time he's back in CONCACAF coaching Honduras. However, right now, Honduras' qualification to Qatar seems to be dead in the water, being bottom of the table in the 8th position, having 0 wins, 3 draws, 5 losses, with only 3 points. Them getting knocked out is only a matter of time. I could be wrong here, but if Honduras loses against Canada, then their hopes of qualifying to Qatar is over. I don't know what happened to Honduras, but seeing that their squad isn't what it used to be back in 2014. I mean, one of their starters is a 38-year-old who plays at center back and still gets called up to play for the national team. I understand that this veteran Maynor Figueroa was Honduras' best center back when he used to play in the Premier League with Wigan Athletic and Hull City, but he should have retired a long time ago. And even if he does retire now, Honduras going to Qatar still seems unlikely, and And so let's talk about Canada. Canada right now are in #1 spot at qualifiers where they want to be. This away fixture for Canada will be a must-win game to get those 3 points to extend their lead. It will be hard for them to achieve that goal when their star player, Alphonso Davies, is out with heart problems. Even so, Canada still has some quality players and Jonathan David, Lauren, Buchanan as well. On top of that, having a good coach and Herman with the game plan, this should be a steady game for Canada. My predictions for the scoreline of this game will be Canada winning 3-1 against Honduras. 2 goals from Jonathan David, 1 goal from Lauren. The goal from Honduras will be from Anthony Lozano. And so with that wrapped up, let's go to the next preview. Okay, here we are in this third fixture for Matchday 9. It's Jamaica versus Mexico. The game will be played in Jamaica's backyard in National Stadium Independence Park. This is going to be one hell of a spicy match. In Jamaica's case, they fired a manager and brought a new one in. And the manager's first game in charge in a friendly with Jamaica versus Peru. In that game, Jamaica lost to Peru 3-0. Even though they lost 3-0, they didn't play none of their British players in that game. One of the players that I should have mentioned that's coming to this camp is a striker named Mikel Antonio, who is tearing things up for West Ham this season in the Premier League, and he scored on his international debut for Jamaica against El Salvador and scored his second goal in his second game with Jamaica. So far, he's on a score streak for Jamaica, and could he do it again against Mexico? Probably so. And while this Jamaica side will unfortunately have to play without Leon Bailey, who is injured. And speaking about Mexico,
let's talk about that.
Now, as every Mexican fan knows, 2021 wasn't their year, losing 2 finals to their major rivals, the US, having to end their 2021 qualifier campaign, losing back-to-back matches against the US and Canada. After all that, the Mexican fans have just had it with their coach, Tata Martino, with the team filled with aging players, especially in the goalkeeping department, having to call this time around 4 goalkeepers, all above the age of 34. No young keepers this time around after Santos keeper, Acevedo, made his debut for Mexico in friendly against Chile last month, who had a good game in shot stopping, other than nothing much, but he could improve along the way. But hey, the one thing all Mexican fans can rejoice for is Tata Martino finally called up some decent fullbacks in Gerardo Ortega, who came back to the national team after being banished to the Shadow Realm for the second half of 2021. And then there's LA Galaxy's right back Julian Araujo, who's going to go to his first qualifiers for Mexico. But don't get too excited, L3 fans, because Tata Martino still called up Jesus Gallardo and Chaga Rodriguez.
Why are you there?
Plus, now that Mexico will have to play 3 games in a short window, these 2 boogeymen will eventually play for the national teams, so beware. Now, with all that I've said, this match is going to be a tough game for both teams. Mexico needs this win after their 2 losses, and Jamaica needs this win to kickstart the rest of their campaign to get into the qualification spots. And while my prediction for this game is it will be a 2-2 draw, and Antonio will score those 2 goals for Jamaica after outmuscling Jesus Gallardo and Chaco Rodriguez. Then for Mexico, it will be Raul Jimenez and Diego Lainez, who will be on the score sheets for Mexico. And with that result, the 2 teams will each get a point out of this draw onto their qualification road to Qatar. And with that said, let's go to the last match of this match today. Okay, here we are at the last match of this match day. Costa Rica versus Panama. This match will be played in Costa Rica, and this Costa Rican team is jam-packed with veteran/old players. With Costa Rica, they have the best keeper in all of CONCACAF, Keylor Navas. And of course, there's other key players in that team, like Brian Ruiz, Borges, and Joel Campbell. With those players mentioned, right now Costa Rica desperately needs these 3 points, because right now they are 5th place behind Panama, which puts them out of the World Cup. If Costa Rica managed to win this game against Panama, then it will cut the distance between them short by 2 points. They'll still be in 5th place even if they win, but it's all about getting the momentum going to keep earning more points. And as matches are still played, hoping Panama will slip up. On the topic of Panama, this team was in the last World Cup for the first time ever with their golden generation. And it seems like this age golden generation are on track to qualify to their 2nd ever World Cup. Doing so leaves a team like Costa Rica out of the dust, who in the past qualifiers were always in their qualification spots to the World Cup. However, it seems like age has finally all but caught up with this Costa Rican squad, who are now having a rough time right now in qualifiers. Panama right now are doing well and in the 4th spot. Being 4th place in the table puts Panama in a playoff spot to qualify directly through the playoffs by facing and defeating a team from the OFC and being level on points with Mexico. If Mexico drops points against Jamaica, then it will be a perfect opportunity for Panama to win against Costa Rica, a jump ahead of Mexico to the automatic qualification spots. And so you may be wondering, what will the scoreline be for this game? Well, I'm gonna be honest, it's quite a rough one, because this game will be a match with everything on the line here. It's either go big or go home. I'm gonna make a bold prediction here, and say Panama will walk away with all 3 points and win against Costa Rica 1-0. I would say it will be a lucky goal from Panama being scored by Freddy Gondola, putting the ball behind the legendary Keylor Navas, putting Costa Rica's qualification hopes in the mud. But yeah, there is all my predictions for matchday 9 of the qualifications in the CONCACAF. Once all the matches are done and played on matchday 9, I plan to do another prediction on matchday 10 and take it from there on how they perform matchday 9, so that I'll predict what will happen in matchday 10 based on their performances. Until then, we'll see what happens this Thursday when the matches will be played. Overall, I wish the 8 qualifying nations good luck to the qualifying campaign. And with that said, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you do, please give this video a like. And if you want to consider subscribing to my channel for more commentary football content in the future. Don't forget to follow my socials down in the description below. See you soon in my next video. Hey there everybody, A-Kip is leaving the building.